welcome back to my channel, Choose Joy with Carmen. And in today's video, I am going to be showing you the card that I created for Craft Roulette episode number 153, where Bitty Penny was the guest. So here are some of the supplies that I used. So we'll get started with looking at them and why I chose them. So this week, the colors had to be two blues, two different kinds of blues plus two other colors. And Mary Gunn showed like a color wheel, and she talked about the difference between the two blues, and that was interesting to me in trying to figure out what I wanted to use. So I decided to go with this color here, which I guess would be more of the violet blues. And so this would be, this is called Orchid Opulence. And then I went with the Starry Sky, which I consider more of a normal blue, but more like a dark normal blue. So those are the two blues that I chose. And then I'm bringing in, for my other two colors, Fresh Freesia and Garden Green, because of the papers that I chose. And then the project had to have rounded edge. So when that first came up on the wheel, I was so excited because I had just filed all my sheet load of cards. And I remember there was one in there for February because I hadn't done my, sheet load rewinds for February yet. And there was one in there from February of 2021 where the sketch had rounded corners. So I knew I wanted to use this sketch. I changed it up a little, and I'll show you that here in a minute on my card. And then the element had to have flowers. Well, that was easy. And then random had to have a fussy cut element in there. So when I was going through my catalog, I saw this set in here. And one thing that I do is I tend to let the designer paper kind of guide me. And this was the designer paper that I chose. And this one is part of the Tea Boutique. And I chose this. And so if you look closely at the flowers, for example, this one, I was trying to find a flower similar to that. And the other paper that I use is also from here, and I'm using this one, which has both kind of the Orchid Opulence, or however you say that, and the Starry Sky in there. So that's from the Tea Boutique. And then the other paper that I'm using is this Fresh Freesia one right here. And this is from the Butterfly Kisses paper pack. So when I was looking for the flower that I wanted to fussy cut, I found this one because I thought it matched that paper very well. This one. And so I thought, I'm going to use this set. Now here's the funny part was I wanted to add to my card these two little leaves down here toward the bottom so that the bottom could hide the end of the stem. And I fussy cut them out too, along with this one. But the funny thing was then when I came back to look at this picture, I realized there was a punch for it. And I was like, darn it, I wish I would have used the punch, because I did two small ones and one big one on my card. And I was like, oh, I hate to fussy cut. But so I could have just fussy cut this and punched them out. But too late, I already did fussy cutting on all of them. So I thought that was funny. So I went ahead and also, here's that set, and I used the sentiments from here as well. And then there was these embellishments called Fun Flowers Resin Shapes. And it had the same colors, the Fresh Freesia, the Starry Sky, and all that. So I went ahead and used these flowers on my card as well. Okay, so let's bring in the card and take a look at it. So here it is. And the how I changed up the sketch a little was, if you notice, um, she went ahead and put this element here kind of over here, but I pushed mine off to the side and I made it a little smaller, not as, I made it a little, not as wide. Kept, I kept the length okay. And then I went ahead and rounded those corners as well and did some sponging around the edges with the fresh freesia. And so I moved it all over to the side there so that I could go ahead and um, put my fussy cut flowers on this side. And I omitted this altogether because I didn't want to hide any more of that pretty paper down there with the flowers than I already had with the elements that I put on here. And she has the embellishments off to the side, but I went ahead and put them right here. So I changed it up a little, but that's the fun of the sheet loads, is that you can make them your own. So I think I have all the elements on my card here. We've got the rounded corners, which I have here, here, and here. And then we have the colors, two blues, which is the starry sky and the orchid opulence, which I don't know if I'm saying that right. And then the other two colors was the fresh freesia and the garden green. And then element flowers, well, that's obvious. And then the random was the fussy cut, which was this big flower here. But I ended up doing the small ones even though I didn't need to, which I was frustrated with myself later. And then you open up the card, and I decorated the inside by putting just a little bit of that with the fresh freesia and a little bit of that paper there, and then thank you for everything. Alrighty, well, there is my card for this week. I like it, even though I'm not really a blue person. But um, the orchid opulence, or whatever that is, I think is a pretty color. And it's because, I guess because it has the violet in it, and I really do like that. So I was happy with it. Alrighty, well, thank you all for stopping by to see what I made this week. And thank you all who subscribe to me and watch me on a regular basis. And if you're new to my channel and you want to see more of what I create, I would appreciate it if you would subscribe. Excuse me. And hit that bell notification if you want to be notified when I upload my next video. Okay, well, I need to take a drink of water, so I'm going to sign off. And hope you all have a great week. Excuse me. And until my next video, remember, choose joy, and may God bless you all. Bye-bye.